Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I am coming to you to talk about the things that CG can do to change me personally, from what I view as an aggressive minnow. That's what I call myself. I'm an aggressive minnow. I don't spend enough in this game to consider myself a dolphin, and I definitely am not a whale, and I am absolutely not a kraken. Now, here's my thought, right? If CG makes a few minor changes, right? A few little changes, then not only will they help the small spender or the non-spender, that person who's contemplating maybe a purchase, maybe a character pack, maybe something, but they will also make the Krakens, the Cthulhus of this game, so much happier, because they will be spending probably the same amount, but getting more bang for their buck. And they're going to be happier about it. Now, all of this coming with the concept that they are working on a tool to create more content, to create more characters, to create more other stuff. Making an adjustment in value at this time, I think, is an incredibly brilliant opportunity. Because if they decrease or if they increase the value of their product, more people are going to be willing to buy stuff. I was talking to a guy on my Discord chat, B-Man, and one of the things that he was saying today was that there's just not enough value. He said that he spent $30 to $50 over the 5 years that he's played this game. Now, he also said that he started playing the Disney version of this game, the DSA, and within the first couple of months, he's already spent $20. Now, I hope he doesn't mind me sharing that information. I'm not giving out bank account numbers or anything like that. But that just goes to show the value that we place on these things, the value that we see coming from it. With capital games, with Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, the cost, it's just hard to justify, right? And so I've come up with a list of things that for me would be incredibly valuable, things that CG could do to make this game, or to make more money from me off of this game. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about is there used to be, back in the day, and those of you who played in the beginning, those of you who've been around from the beginning, know exactly what I'm about to say. Those of you who've left and come back, same concept. There used to be this little package for $9.99, and that's how they get you, $9.99 plus tax. But for $9.99, you could have a 21-day 100 crystals added to your allotment, right? Now, if you're farming and you're getting 300 crystals a day, or 300 plus crystals a day, depending on where you are, 300 is like that basic number. An additional 100 goes a very long way, right? And it also helps to not deplete your crystal reserve so fast. If you're farming gear, if you're farming shards, if you're farming whatever, it's difficult because you keep having to buy crystals, or you have to be very competitive, which I'm not super competitive in PvP or PvE to be that. And so for $9.99, you could have bought this 21-day pack. You got 100 crystals a day, and I think there was you got an additional 100 or 200 in that first day, the day that you bought it, and maybe a few other things. It wasn't bad. And really, I loved it. I did it for the first, I think, 6 months, and it was just $10 a month, right? It was essentially a subscription style service, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I think most players would love it, right? You could only do it once a month, or maybe you could have done it more. I don't really remember, but I thought it was great, and I think it's something they should bring back. However, my suggestion: make it $15 a month. Still something that's doable for me, but instead of doing 100 crystals a day, do 200 crystals a day, and maybe 5 pieces of gear of something that's really difficult to farm. Stun cuffs, stun guns, those 5 pieces of gear for whatever. And it can be a random piece of gear. That would be awesome too, right? But for $15 for 21 days, 200 crystals a day, and maybe even like 5 or a series of like 5 or 3 different sets of something that are difficult to farm. That would, in my mind, for me, I would absolutely do that. I think that's a great idea. Obviously, it's my idea. I think it's great. 2, second on the list. We just finished the 8 node attempts, right? So at the making of this video, right, and since I'm launching it now, you guys know what I'm talking about. We went from 5 attempts per node to 8 attempts per node. That's something they've done in the past. They did it for a really long time. They left it at 8 attempts per node, and a lot of us were able to really gain a lot of ground when it came to farming for shards. I love that idea. I love being able to farm 8 attempts per node per day. Now, in the last few days, I actually spent more money in the last few days than I did leading up to like this point in the year. Now, this point in the year, I spent like 20 and 20 and 5 and 10 and 20. I spent like $100 in like the last week and a half on this game, right? Not a ton. It's not a ton for people who spend money. It's not a ton for people who make videos, right? It's something that they, invest in so they can make videos, they can make them better, so on and so forth. It's really not. But I did that because I am farming First Order Kylo Ren. I am farming for the First Order, and it's killing me that I didn't have General Hux and I didn't have friggin' Crimson Lobster. And it's so tough. Now, here's the thing. During this 8 node attempt, or 8 attempts per node time period, I was able to unlock 7-star General Hux, right? I was able to get him all the way up. I still need to gear him. My General Hux, I think, was at like gear 10 at this point, and Crimson Lobster is also gear 9, I think. But I was able to completely unlock 7-star General Hux, and I'm really close to the Crimson Lobster. I think I'm at 51 out of 100 on 6-star, right? And it's because I spent money during this 8 attempt node. Now, if you don't make it consistent, right? If you don't just leave it at 8 attempts, at least make it more often, right? Give us like 1 month on, 1 month off, 1 quarter on, 1 quarter off. I would be willing to bet you that you're going to make more money during those quarters, that the node attempts are higher than when they are not, because that's when I'm going to be farming the most. That's when I'm going to get the most bang for my buck, especially when I'm farming or pursuing a 7-star character. Now, if you do it off and on, that absence of the node attempts, people will long for it. People will want for it. And then because it's there's scarcity there, people will jump towards it. I think it's a great idea. Again, my idea, so I'm running with it. Now, number 3, reduce the cost of node refreshes. Now, currently, like with Fleet Arena, with regular shard attempts, it's 25, I think, then 50, 50, 50, then 100, right? If it were 25, 25, 25, 25, then 50, 50, 50, or 25, 25, 25, and then, whatever, people would save money. People would spend more crystals to get more refreshes. And they would then either buy more crystals or do what they can to be more competitive. The more competitive they get, the better the chances are that you're going to be making money, because they're going to want the newest and latest thing. I think by adjusting that crystal just a little bit would be a huge thing, right? 4, increase gear drop rates. Now, I've been looking at this, and for the longest time, we know that on a good day, the current drop rate is about 35%, maybe 15%, right? It's not great. But the low end of that drop rate is pretty low. I mean, or it's zero, right? It's 0 to like 35%. And the chances are on the lower end of that, right? Now, if there was a guarantee that you'd get something, maybe not a lot, but something, I think that would be huge. If you were always guaranteed to get at least one piece that you were going for, it would be awesome, right? It would be so great. Maybe it's 100% that you get one piece. 50% you get two pieces. 30%, 3 and above. 5%, 5 and above. I don't know. But just by making it to where there's a guarantee that you'll at least get one piece, it would make a huge difference. Especially when you're farming these really, really frustrating like cryotechs, these new things that were supposed to ease the burden of the gear crunch that actually made it more burdensome. By giving us at least one guarantee each attempt, just one, is going to make a huge difference. Number 5. Merchandising.
Merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that?
Merchandising. Come, I'll show you.
I'm currently wearing a Star Wars shirt. You guys have seen me wear my Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes hoodie. That was actually given to me by CG when I was a game changer. It was cool. I love it. I wear it all the freaking time. Like, all the time. I wear it everywhere. Like, everywhere. My family has seen me wear that for years. It is one of my favorite hoodies. It is an older hoodie, right? I got it a year into being a game changer, right? And I love it. I would buy another one. Without a doubt, I would buy another one. I mean, it's awesome. I would buy beanies. I would buy socks. I would buy yoga pants for my wife. I would probably buy yoga pants for myself. They look super comfortable. I would do toothpaste, lunch boxes.
We put the picture's name on everything. Merchandising, merchandising. Where the real money from the movie is made. The t-shirt, the coloring book, the lunchbox, the breakfast cereal, the flamethrower. The kids love this one. Last but not least, the doll. Me.
May the Schwartz be with you.
Right? Now, here's the thing. Here's the other thing. The art department. We know how proud they are of their art department.
Adorable.
We know. And in all fairness, they have a pretty spectacular art department. They really do. It's not the stuff that we want to hear about during a Q&A necessarily. Like, we don't want to say, well, what brushstroke did you use to create this? I mean, no one really cares about that. Accolades, major accolades for the CG art department for creating this. I've been to Capitol Games. They have artwork. They have posters all over the walls. I want to buy those posters and put them on my walls. I've asked them for that. I asked CG Top Hat once, maybe twice, maybe half a dozen times. And it's something that I've never gotten an answer to. But let us buy those posters. I'm a teacher. Do I want this stuff? Yes. Yes, I do. Again, for Christmas one year, they created this big print, just the intro, the title screen, and they all signed it. It was really cool. It's hanging in my classroom right now. And the thing that I love about that is people come in, they're like, oh, you play SWGOH? And I'm like, yeah, it's awesome. And I make YouTube videos. It's so cool. I love this stuff. And I would love to see this stuff outside of the game. Now, the last thing that I do think they're actually working on is Hondo. And at this point, Hondo is more of a metaphor than an actual character that I think that they're going to add to this game. At this point, Hondo is the fan favorite character that we all want, right? I want Hondo. you guys want like a Jawa with a lightsaber or an Ewok with a lightsaber. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only person who likes really small things with like sharp objects. I don't know. But I think that it would be awesome. Again, for me, I'd probably be spending on Hondo. Now, the reason I say that they're working on this, because if they're working on this tool, if they're creating this tool, more stuff for the game, then what they're doing essentially is creating these characters or creating a tool that makes these characters easier to add to the game. Now, I will say, and I do believe that Hondo is officially in game code. If you look back at some of like the data mined material, there are a list of characters that are in the game that just haven't been added to playability yet. And whether they're finished with them, whether whatever, we don't know. But they are in the game code. So, I mean, give us Hondo already. Or give us the next fan favorite. Give us Jabba. There's a lot of potential out there, and I would love to see these characters added to the game. Now, these are the 6 things that I want added to the game. These are the 6 things that would help me spend a little more money on this game. What are some things that you would like? What are some things that would help you move from a free-to-play to an aggressive minnow, a dolphin? What would help you move from that Kraken level to Cthulhu level? Leave a comment in the section below and let me know. In the section below, you will find 2 links. The first is to Audible. I always say this. I love audiobooks, guys. There's a lot of great books coming out. Queen's Peril, the 2nd installment on the Queen Amidala series or trilogy, I'm not sure what it is coming out here in the next couple of weeks. And you can get 1 free audiobook if you sign up. If you do sign up, you help the channel. A small little kickback. I mean, it's pretty small. But you get a free audiobook, and you get to keep that even if you don't extend past that 1-month trial. Additionally, in the section below, you can visit the Going Nerdy merch store because SWGOH doesn't have one. I do. And because I do, you can check out this t-shirt. You can get t-shirts and blankets and masks, whatever, with all this stuff. I've got one right now that says Order 66 was an inside job, and what would Hondo do, right? And every time you buy the shirt, I get a small kickback, and you get a shirt. They're pretty cool. If you have an idea for a shirt that you'd like me to put up in the store, please let me know, and I will do my best to create it. More is coming, guys. But what would you do? What would you like to see added to the game? What changes would you like to see CG make that might make you drop some coin? Let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and as always, my friends, smile and stay nerdy.